lobster that I couldn't grab. Well, I knew it was over 20 pounds or so, and they told me that that lobster was 100 years old.
It was a big, big lobster.
It was the
Biggest lobster that I've ever seen. It was a big, big lobster. I like to eat 'em with some cream.
I got my hands on a 25-pounder, yeah. I had my picture in the paper, I was in the news. I told them I was gonna cook them up real nice, gonna put them in the oven, gonna bag it up.
It was a big, big lobster. It was the biggest lobster that I've ever seen. It was a big, big lobster. I want to eat 'em with some cream.
Couldn't eat the lobster cause it was so big, but then 5 years later he was still in the fridge. They told me that the lobster was really old, but they didn't tell me he liked to rock and roll.
It was a big, big lobster. It was the biggest lobster that I've ever seen. It was a big, big lobster. It was the only lobster that I couldn't eat. It was a big, big lobster. It was the biggest lobster that I've ever seen. It was a big, big lobster. It was the only lobster that I couldn't eat.
I like that one there. It's quite a bit.